Record. Okay, so it is our March 11th team call. This year is flying by, and I'm excited for Staci to share with us her story and like the transformation she's had in her business over the past couple months. Real quick, I'll just go over the couple of announcements. The Ultimate Portion Fix launch party group is up, and it's good for people to add to because the Ultimate Portion Fix launches on Monday the 18th. I think what we're going to do, and I can sit down and work with Staci on coming up with a plan, is like maybe on Sunday breaking it down and sharing all the details of the program and maybe talking about on-demand and Shakeology. And if we have time, maybe beach bars or like a few of the other things that they give you deals on whenever you add it to your cart. And then on Monday, it will actually go live. So I'm thinking what we could do is like maybe to amp up excitement, if it goes live on Monday, like do prize drawings every couple of hours or something. And I'll come up with some things that I have here to give away that will hopefully increase the amount of people that are going to sign up. I just said I completed my certification today, and I've gone through almost all the videos, and I think it is so in-depth, and it's almost, I kind of call it like foolproof because really she breaks down like the entire container system, and then she gives you the option of, do you want to follow time nutrition, or do you want to follow the foundational portion fix, or do you want to follow carb cycling if you have an event to get ready for? And then from there, she breaks it down further and gives you instructions on how to read labels and how to meal prep. And she gives you several different ways to meal prep, several different healthy alternatives. And then she goes through the whole family, like friendly or family fix as well. And I think it's going to be really cool to help people and give them an option for long-term, because I know people ask, basically Ultimate Portion Fix can be purchased without Beachbody On Demand. It is its own standalone site, or it'll be integrated through Beachbody On Demand if somebody has Beachbody On Demand. And as I understand it, it's a one-time fee, just like 2B Mindset was, so you get it forever. The people that will have early access to 21 Day Fix and 21 Day Fix Extreme live streamed are only those people that are getting the Ultimate Portion Fix. So I had somebody ask me this today. I believe that it's probably August or something where it actually comes to Beachbody On Demand. So in order to access those workouts, they do have to have the Ultimate Portion Fix subscription service. And the last thing is if they're a coach, they can obviously sign up now. And we will run a challenge group starting April 1st, and we'll like run through it. I know that I heard some people say, well, what if the video is released April 1st and I want to start that day and I usually get my workout in the morning? It probably will be released the night before, like they have done with 80 Day Obsession and, Transform 20. So I wouldn't worry about that so much. But I think what our goal will be is to invite to an April 1st challenge group. And I think following the workouts will be optional, but following the nutrition will be like the one part that they have to have. And of course, we'll keep running our other groups aside from it, but what we'll do is run a Ultimate Portion Fix specific challenge group just for this program. So people can have that specific coaching on that program to get them through it. And we have a lot of materials on the certification side to help run the challenge group. So I think we can make it a really cool challenge group. Staci and I also talked about today doing maybe like a diet bet for it, and like people buy in or put a $5 in, and then maybe we do something with measurements or weight or compliance with the meal plan. Haven't quite figured that part out yet. Maybe we can even do all three like for each week, but I think that might be kind of cool. I know our challenge group engagement is always a little iffy, and we're trying out new things constantly, but this is something other coaches have used, so maybe we can give it a try. And with that, I think that's the last thing I was going to say. I'll turn it over to Staci. As you know, Staci and I kind of came up with Team Fearlessly Fit United together. She has had, I think, a complete transformation in her business over the past, 9 months, maybe, Staci, I would say, 6 months, from her husband coming back from deployment to now, and she's going to talk about that tonight. So thanks, Staci.
Well, I have a quick question real quick back to the Ultimate Portion Fix first. Is if customers sign up as of like the 18th, they can they get into Autumn's Facebook group and do 21 Day Fix stuff, or is that just if you sign as a coach?
I would think coaches, but I don't.
That's what I thought so too, but I just wanted to double check, and I figured maybe somebody else would have the question too.
Yeah, that's the way they've done 80 Day Obsession and Transform.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So for some of y'all who don't know my story, Sarah reached out to me when I was 3 months postpartum with my second son. And we talked for a while, and I decided I knew I had to do something different because my husband I had already told me he was deploying like within a year. He also has a very busy work schedule, being military. He travels a lot with his job title also. And having two kids, I knew the CrossFit stuff wouldn't work anymore for me, and they just don't have sitters. Plus, I like wasn't getting the results with CrossFit that I wanted. And I've talked with another girl who just started too, who used to do CrossFit, and feel like both me and her with our body types, like we were putting on the muscle and getting stronger, but it was in all the fattier areas, and we weren't losing that fat that we needed. So I started in Sarah's, one of her free groups, and then I loved it, quickly signed up for 22-minute hardcore challenge pack. Back then, you paid $160 and got one program and your Shakeology. Now it is a crazy deal to get access to all of them. And then I quickly, after 4 weeks of doing that first program, which is 8 weeks, I fell in love with the groups, the community, and decided that I wanted to start sharing my results, the experience that I was having, and try to get some people on board with me also. So that's when things started in really in June. And then I started by adding friends to get to Emerald. I have a lot of people who will say, I'm not married, or my family's not behind me on this. How can I get to Emerald? Because I don't have those people to go to. Like we always talk about, adding your spouse first. I didn't get to Emerald that way. I didn't add my husband until 6 months later. And so it can definitely be done. So fast forward, got to Emerald, got to Diamond in June of 17, I think, Sarah, maybe. And I've stayed there here, a year and a half later, which really kind of bothered me that I feel like I've consistently showed up. For a good bit I was consistently sending messages out, inviting to it. I'm always consistent in my groups for sure. And it got to where I started questioning things like, is this really for me? I'm still sitting in the same rank for a year now, and I can't seem to get anybody really to like coach under me. And then my husband deployed. I continued to run this business and take care of my kids on my own while he was gone for a year. And I did really, really good for those 6 months. I didn't have any distractions. I dug into this because it's what kept me from being lonely on those nights that he was gone. He was gone the whole time because he was deployed, but when the boys were asleep. But at the same time, I struggled too with sharing exactly what I was going through because I wanted to respect my husband's wishes of not sharing that he was deployed. So I was like kind of trying to like throw in that times were tough, times were different. There was a season of my life that I was going through, but it was like I couldn't put it out there. And then he came home, and for anybody who's military, you've gone, maybe you've gone through, I don't know, some kind of transition anyway with your family. When him coming home was harder for me than him being gone. I'm a very independent person, and I also care a lot about what other people think, to where I was scared to because I missed a year of him being around. I didn't want to take any of that time with him to do work. So I wasn't getting the stuff done that I used to be getting done. I was nervous all the time to go live or do any kind of stories when I was around him. And it just, and being so independent too, there was just that transition of getting back into the groove of letting somebody else help me out. And it started to cause with work and doing this, like different arguments. And I'm like, I don't want to be doing this, and it's causing problems with our marriage. Our marriage comes first. And I started doing this because I loved helping other women, and this gave me an opportunity. And my husband always told me from the very beginning, if this causes any stress for you and you're not enjoying it, then you're not going to be doing it. And so we sat down like really almost before like the beginning of the year, and I was like, okay, I've been sitting here, I'm in these groups, I've seen all these ladies, like this is their, shift that they've had. A lot of people, like if they don't have that shift right away and huge momentum, then it's like year 3 is like this magical year. I feel like there's year 3 was very magical for her too. And where she went to NCL in LA, and I finally just kind of come to earth, come to Jesus meeting with him, and I was like, okay, and I wrote down, I was like, this is why I love this. This is what I enjoy doing. These are the people I've helped. This is where they are. I don't want to let them down, and I don't want to let myself down, because I know I can do this. I know there's so much potential with this business. And I started looking at what I wasn't doing to enjoy it like what I was doing and what I wasn't doing to enjoy it anymore, what I needed to change. And I discovered I was overthinking everything too much. I was worrying too much about everybody, and I wasn't doing the basic vital behaviors, or finding the right time slots to do those things. Plus, sorry, I just got like really nervous and whatnot, and my words just, I don't know, I feel like I've been rambling. But, we basically sat down too and wrote out like our budget, and he was like, I would like what you're doing to, cover X, Y, and Z, and then we can have the car paid off by the end of the year, and then we can have these, other things done. That I was like, okay, I can do this. Like, I know what this business has done for other people. I know the basic steps I need to do. And I finally started sharing the coaching part, which was the part that I was missing for the longest time. Even though it was the best thing that happened is becoming a coach, I wasn't sharing it. So I wasn't able to impact as many people as I wanted to and be able to help them. And then see that growth for my business, but the growth for them too. So once I finally kind of, I guess, had a screw it kind of philosophy in a way of not worrying about what everybody else thinks and remembering how much I enjoyed this and just doing it for me and just putting it all out there, that I've actually really I enjoy it so much better than I ever did when I first started it, over the last 2.5 months. Since January. And just this booty shaking mama. It's just popped off my screen. But and I don't for me it was just the whole sitting down with my husband, crying on the phone with my mom, and talking to a best friend, saying how this is really what I want, and I know I can do it. And finally just saying, just go for it. And just simplifying it. And using, I've used the success starter thingy. I don't always get exactly the time frames that it says on there. But I do that about every day. I do it every day. And I write down my people, and I keep it simple. And I'm not, and I feel like so many people are like, I can't continue to do this because I'm getting my feelings hurt, because so many people are saying no, or they're ghosting me. And the way I look at it is if you're getting upset because of those things, then that means your heart is actually in it and you do enjoy this, because you're upset that they're not seeing how great it is. And you want to, for me, I want to fix everybody, and I know I can't. And So, and I know that we have all the tools for that. And I know we're probably about to like lose time here in a few minutes, but I mean, oh yeah, it was Amber. That's just that's been my biggest shift is like sitting down with my husband and being like him telling me I want you to enjoy this. I don't want you doing it if you're stressed and upset about it. And me sitting down and talking some with Sarah too, and one of my best friends, and being like, what is it that I'm not doing right, and what is it that I need to do to get back the joy, and really like inviting to coaching, like, and not worrying so much what everybody else says. Do it for you. You chose this for a reason, and don't sit there and over stress and worry exactly how many. At least send a few out, make sure you have your do a few stories, and be putting it out there. And I think the best, even like, I feel like I'm more scared to send a coaching invite out than I am to share in my stories, to just start sharing every once in a while. Like I meant to say when we started this, take a picture real quick. Like, everybody grab your phone right now and let's all take our little picture of us all, like, and Booty Shaken's gonna go do duck face over there. But if just have fun with it, and don't overcomplicate. Don't, Amanda, that was a very pretty smile. And just I feel like making all these girls in here I mean, we're not just teammates, like we're friends. Like, get to know everybody in here, have little conversations every once in a while. I mean, I love Amanda and I will just randomly start talking over some story that we see on our Instagrams between each other. We don't have to have conversations just about business. And I feel like that's too how much we can grow together more, when you're not all just stuck in the trenches of work with it. Yeah. Anything else, Sarah? I don't know. I guess my shift was just
No,
getting super low and having to have that aha,
Yeah, no, I think that was awesome. I like your response of saying, like, if it actually affects you, it means you care a little bit more about it. And I think sometimes it's easy to take it really personally, but you got to count your wins. So I was curious, when you sat down and talked to Jonathan, did you actually write out like names of people that you had helped and like kind of counted all the wins that you had in this?
I haven't wrote like, what you mean, like the people I want to, or I have?
That you have, because you said that you sat down with them and you're like, here's what I've done. Like, I was just wondering.
Well, yeah, like I've gotten better, and what he was seeing, and this is something I definitely should like recommend, is he was seeing all the negative and the stress. I wasn't showing and sharing, and I wouldn't say, like, I mean, of course you can keep privacy and whatnot between certain people, that you need to, but I mean, I would let him know, hey, I got this text today from this girl and a little bit about it, or check out, depending on who it is, check out this girl's transformation. Like, I've tried to work at sharing more of the positive of it, and the impact, and I've added him to our team page. I don't know how much he looks at it, but I feel like him seeing, the good works in the team and what I'm doing, helps too, with that. And being persistent, because with whoever, like, you never know who has that right season. So I'm not, like, one of my best new challengers, who always will tag me a lot of times on Instagram. She used to use a different product, and I always got a no from her. And I actually had not messaged her in about 3 or 4 months. And when I was sending out crazy mass messages at the end of the year about starting the new year, I reached out to her, and she's like, yes, I need this. Like, and she's considering coaching. So you just never know when and who will be that person. Stephanie, who's one of my new coaches, I remembered after I started this a few months later that she like reached out to me a long time ago. I didn't, I was stuck up in my CrossFit and the gym life. that I didn't want it. And now here she's came back to it, and she's one of my coaches. So it all comes around.
Yeah, I mean, there's something to be said for longevity because what you'll see is like people in our groups now, when coaches leave, if you stick around, those old people will come back and start asking you, can they join you? Like Katie Carpenter, I tagged her in a post today. She was in my very first challenge group as someone else's person, and we connected through the group. And, 2.5 years later, she came back, and now she's on our team. The other question I had is like, it sounds like you went from maybe not actively working as much to now just being very disciplined and like knocking out the activity tracker. Is that right?
Yeah, I went from more of, I would aim for like, say 20 invites a week. And sometimes it was both in one day and not each day something spread out. And there are some days where, I mean, I'll be honest, I may not get an invitation out. I mean, an invite out. But at least I've had some type of invite in a post or in my stories. So there's still people knowing what I'm doing, what's going on, what you can join. Um, so there's not like a complete not doing anything. I mean, I feel like you can put, a simple story up and it doesn't take much time for the day.
Yeah.
If you don't have, if something's going on, you just can't send out any messages. I don't know what I'm going to do the week of the cruise because there's not going to be anything put out that week for a few days. But
You just post. You're present every day, and I think that's a big deal. So
yeah, and that's what people notice. I mean, I've had people that it's taken them 2 years before they just need that presence for a while. And a lot of them are like, okay, I've tried quick fixes and this and that. It's obvious that, this works or you're in this.
And then did you do anything differently with like recommitting to a program?
Um, you've got less than 10 minutes. I've tried, like, I've worked, I mean, I've always been good at committing to workouts. It's the nutrition part. And that still isn't like 100%, but at least it's not, at least it's not to where I'll do a workout program, do decent with the nutrition, and then when I stop when that workout program ends, I like regress a lot. And then when I start a new one, I restart. I'm trying to stay, like my word this year is forward. Like I'm trying to stay consistent and keep moving forward and not go back. And there's still days where I slip up. I mean, I ate some of those. My mom introduced me to those blueberry dark chocolate covered. I forgot they're Bob something farm or something. I don't know. And so I ate a few of those today. Like, I mean, it happens. At least I didn't eat all 3 bad healthy meals in one day.
I don't think you're going to sabotage your results with those 3 blueberries.
Oh no, I ate more than 3, but I ate a few.
Okay, I only have one more question and then anybody else can ask, but did you change up the personal development you were doing or did you like start back?
Well, I never actually did it very well until about, I'd say 9 months ago or so. Like I started using Audible because just reading books wasn't happening for me because the time that I could have quiet time to read, it was when the boys were in bed and I was passing out, like going to sleep then. So I started doing that and just making it more intentional, even if it's something like just for like 5 minutes or something. Um, and working at doing better, listening to or reading more like work related stuff too, per Sarah's request. But I have like from the beginning of the year too, I've made the focus of reading a devotional every morning. And I feel like that has helped a lot, at least just having my mindset good at the very beginning of the day. Like it's the first thing I do. And sometimes I may fall back to sleep, but at least I've like read something, started a day. Oh, well.
Does anybody else have questions? I think you did an awesome job. Thank you.
No, thanks.
Well, if nobody else has any questions, I will make sure to get this recording posted. Wait, Amber has a question. Should have known.
I don't really have a question, but I do have a comment because I came in halfway through what you were talking about, and you talked about how you were sharing the positives with Jonathan versus all he saw was the negative. And I just wanted to like jump up and down and be like, oh my gosh, I know what you're talking about. Because I, did the same thing with my husband probably not so long ago. When I went Emerald and then when I got my shirt, I sent him the text of the announcement that Sarah made, and I was like, look, and I got back this good job because I think because I've tried so many things and not stuck with it, that it's just kind of like, okay, how long is she going to stick with this type thing? And so the fact that I'm like, making that effort, and I thought, let me share some positive stuff of what I'm doing. And so when you said that, I was like, yes, I know what you're talking about.
And being intentional with your time, especially with them, like he knows Monday nights or team night. And, I've told him, okay, we'll be done a little after 9, and, we'll hang out, and making sure, if I have anything else we need to do, I'm like, okay, let's watch whatever show for 30 minutes. And then I've got to do a little bit of this, or we'll hang out for a while. And then once he's snoring, I may pick up my phone and, send a few messages out or so. And they may be out at 2:00 in the morning. I had a girl the other day, why are you texting me too? I'm like, I have a 3-year-old who wakes up in the middle of the night still sometimes. They come out at the craziest times. And so just don't stress it so much. I've done that a few times for a while. Just enjoy it, go back to why you started, and just have fun with it. But stay consistent and try to at least do something every day.
I do wish I could have recorded when I opened up the package with my shirt in it. And by the way, that card was about to make me tear up, by the way. But I opened it up and I took the shirt out and I was all excited, jumping up and down. You would have thought I just I don't know, got handed $100,000 check. I was super excited. My kids are my son looked at me, he's 10, keep in mind, he goes, Mom, it's just a shirt. I went, it's not just a shirt.
It's the future.
Yeah.
It's the future of health and happiness and new financial freedoms.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, I do
think
if your husband is one of your coaches, add him in the team page. Colin pays attention to way more than I anticipated. And I think from day one, I shared with him exactly what my wins were. And now I can talk to him about the stressful stuff. And it's not oh, this is just a little side job. He understands the importance of it. And he's trying to make his own beach body of running, he's totally been inspired by us and what we do. So I feel like sharing with them, bringing them in on it, and keeping a track of your wins, because in this beginning of this business, more often than not, you're getting way more no's than you are yeses. And it's hard to remember why you're doing it when you feel like it's a personal thing. It's not a personal thing. It's not really about you. It's about them. But that's obviously most people's reaction to it. So I think keeping track of that, first person that loses 5 pounds with you, that first person that submits their results to the Beachbody Challenge, which we need to work on a little bit, or that first coach that gets their first paycheck or gets their first rank advancement. Those are all things that keeping track of the nice cards you receive. I remember my first Christmas, or my second Christmas as a coach, I got 2 gifts from customers, and I was like, man, this, and they're water bottles. It wasn't, but it was Amber getting the shirt, it was people actually appreciate what I'm doing. And there's not a lot of Thanksgiving in our day jobs, not as an attorney by any means.
Well, that's I had a girl who I never, I was so scared to reach out to. And I finally reached out to her one day, and she gave me she left it at my door, and it was a cute mason jar that she sprayed, and she put a plant in it, and she put a letter that said, thanks for helping me grow, and wrote me this nice letter. And it was perfect timing, because it was when I was struggling, and it just reminded me. And she was like, I'm forever grateful for you taking that courage to invite me. And if I stayed with that scare of inviting her, she would have never been able to lose the amount of weight that she has and feel as great as she does right now. I would have been deciding for her.
Preach, sister.
So yeah.
All right, guys, we have 2 minutes. Thanks for coming. I meant to mention this. Sorry. There is a Summit ticket sale going on at the end of the month. If you have not signed up to go to Summit and you still want to go, I cannot recall which date. It's only like 10 days, but come. It's going to be great. These things make it way more fun. And on days where it's a struggle, you can look back on memories of something like Summit and you're like, that's why I do this. So I'll post about it in the team page. Look for it and I'll post it. Thanks, Staci. Love you. I appreciate you. Bye, guys.